If you're searching for a premium robot vacuum that excels at handling high thresholds and picking up pet hair, this video is for you. I'm Jamie Andrews, and today we're diving into Dreame's latest flagship model, the X50 Ultra. What sets this robot apart is its innovative ProLeap system, allowing it to climb high thresholds, paired with the VersaLift retracting LiDAR that improves clearance under furniture. It also features a HyperStream detangling duo brush, combining rubber and bristles for enhanced cleaning performance. If you haven't already watched my initial video where I covered all the specs and features of the X50 Ultra, you can find it in the links above and below. In this video, I'll put the X50 Ultra through my usual rigorous testing, share its pros and cons, and conclude with my final thoughts. Let's jump straight into the carpet vacuum test. I spread 54 grams of colored rice across medium pile carpet and set the X50 to Max Plus vacuum mode to measure its performance. With the new dual rollers and 20,000 pascals of suction, my expectations were high, and the results did not disappoint. The X50 managed to pick up 53 grams or 98%. Moving on, we have the tile pickup test. For this challenge, I scattered 130 grams of cat litter on tile floor, once again using Max Plus vacuum mode and giving the X50 a single pass to clean up as much as possible. The vacuum collected 123 grams or 94%, well above the channel average. Next up is the mopping test, where I applied 4 milliliters of baked on hot sauce to tile floor. The X50 was given 2 passes with the water level set to maximum. I should mention that I run all of my tests multiple times to ensure consistency, selecting the best result. If 2 tests yield significantly different outcomes, I run a third or even a fourth test until I achieve reliable results. The X50 Ultra comes close to a perfect score, removing about 98% of the hot sauce, an impressive, though slightly imperfect result. Moving on to the obstacle avoidance test. Historically, Dreame robots have excelled in this area, and the X50 Ultra continues this trend. The obstacle avoidance system appears largely unchanged from last year's X40 model, and unsurprisingly, it aced the standard test. However, in my new bonus obstacle avoidance challenge, while it successfully avoided the fake animal waste, it struggled to detect the USB cord hanging from the couch, failing to address it despite multiple test attempts. One of my new tests for 2025 is the Black Rug Challenge. Dark rugs often confuse robot vacuum's cliff sensors, making the robot think it's about to fall into a hole. Unfortunately, the X50 struggled with this test and couldn't navigate the black rug at all. On a brighter note, the X50's dual roller system shines when it comes to resisting hair tangles, a major win for homes with pets or long-haired residents like mine. Hair tangles are usually a problem, especially with rollers that include bristles, but I'm pleased to report that both the side brush and dual roller system managed to avoid any hair wrapping around them. The ProLeap system on the X50 Ultra is designed to handle high thresholds in your home. In testing, it successfully crossed a 40mm board multiple times without any issues. The system also offers versatility in mapping, as it can automatically identify and mark thresholds or allow you to add them manually. As for edge cleaning, the features remain mostly unchanged from the X40 model. The swing-out side brush has been slightly redesigned and continues to perform well in reaching corners, under areas of furniture, and along doors. I appreciate that Dreame has now allowed you to enable it on carpets as well. Additionally, the swing-out mop is impressive with its extended reach, cleaning closer to the kickboard under my cabinets than any other brand I've tested so far. The X50 operates quietly compared to many robot vacuums. In standard vacuum mode, it produces just 57 decibels, and even when boosted to Max Plus mode, the noise level increases to only 65 decibels. In terms of dimensions, the X50 stands at 89 millimeters tall with its LiDAR retracted, slightly shorter than the 97 millimeter height of the X40 Ultra, which includes the LiDAR dome. While the reduced height showcases a more complex design, the 8mm difference didn't provide any noticeable advantages in my home during testing. Next, I ran tests on the dock, starting with its ability to empty a nearly full dustbin. The 395ml dustbin is relatively large, though a small area near the end remains unusable as it's beyond the filter opening. The auto-empty system performed well, cleaning the bin in the first attempt. However, I noticed that some dust particles tended to get trapped around the lip of the filter opening. Additionally, since Dreame chose to eliminate the pre-filter, larger debris often becomes lodged in the cleats of the paper filter, meaning you'll need to wash it more frequently. During the auto-empty process, the dock produced a noise level of about 72 decibels when measured from 6 feet away. Following the mopping test, the mop pads were noticeably dirty. The X50's new dock uses pressurized water for cleaning, replacing the friction scrubbing system from earlier models. In deep wash mode, a single wash on the dock delivered results comparable to the old friction system. A second wash achieved slightly better cleanliness. While the performance is solid, it falls into what I classify as average among current washing systems. The X50 claims a peak water temperature of 174 degrees Fahrenheit, though my testing didn't come close to reaching that figure. With the water output set to hot and smart washing mode disabled, I positioned a temperature probe right above the water nozzle. On the initial wash, I observed a peak temperature of 147 degrees Fahrenheit, matching the performance of the X40 dock. While temperatures over 120 degrees Fahrenheit are typically considered hot water, the X50 only maintained hot water output for 9 seconds during the 2-minute test. During the heating cycle, the system drew 9 amps and slightly over 1,000 watts, which is notably lower than anticipated. I conducted a water consumption test with the mop washing cycle set to every 15 minutes and configured the default standard wash mode. The dock used approximately 490 milliliters of water to clean a 130 square foot area, returning to the dock once mid-cycle to wash the pads. As for drying the mop pads, I couldn't find an advertised drying temperature, but within just 2 hours the pads were completely dry, along with the dock sink. During the drying process, I measured a peak temperature of 122 degrees Fahrenheit, with the system drawing half an amp and 55 watts of power. You might be wondering whether the new dock system is easier to clean compared to the old one, and the answer is yes. However, some maintenance is still required. The back filter and the area below it often accumulate a significant amount of fine debris. To address this, I use a small vacuum to clear out the debris, followed by a wet cloth to clean the area thoroughly. That said, I really wish Dreame would consider switching to a one-piece removable dock tray. It would eliminate the need to bend down and clean inside the dock, making the process far more convenient. Now onto my list of pros and cons, starting with the cons. The first con is an issue that's not new to Dreame. The side mop has a tendency to ride up onto floor moldings when extended. Next, even at its highest water output level, the X50 fell short on my tile floors, leaving me wishing for more. Lastly, and perhaps the most significant drawback, is the X50's poor battery life. Despite the substantial 6400 mAh battery, I found it consumed just over 1% per minute during cleaning, far from the advertised 220 minutes of runtime. In fact, it used up more than both the X40, which has the same size battery, and even the L40 with its smaller 5200 mAh battery. After seeing similar complaints online, I reached out to Dreame and received a replacement unit, but unfortunately the issue persisted. Further testing revealed what seemed to be a parasitic drain. When removed from the dock and left in standby for just 15 minutes, the battery drained rapidly to 90%. I'm currently working with Dreame to identify the cause, and I'm optimistic that a firmware update could resolve the problem. If and when that happens, I'll be sure to pin a comment below to update my viewers. Now for the pros, and the biggest standout for me is the X50's ability to climb large thresholds. The ProLeap system is an ingenious design that never fails to impress in action. If your home has particularly high thresholds, up to 42mm or even 60mm for multi-step levels, this system is a game changer. Another highlight is how exceptionally quiet the X50 is during operation. In mop-only mode, it's so silent that you can barely hear it rolling across grout lines on my tile floor, making it the quietest robot that I've tested to date. The hair detanglement system is also a major improvement, outperforming the tri-cut brush from previous models, which required an extra purchase. The X50's object avoidance remains one of the best in the industry. Although it missed my USB cord in my second test, it performed excellently in the rest of my home and never tangled once. Dreame has also reduced the number of false positives that plagued earlier models. Additionally, I found the large particle boost function works quite well on this model. Another welcome addition is the new dynamic obstacle area cleaning feature in the app, which automatically revisits missed areas caused by avoiding people or pets. Finally, the overall performance of the X50 is impressive. While it may not dominate any single category, it consistently ranks at the top, following in the footsteps of its predecessors. To wrap things up, you might be wondering if the X50 Ultra is the right choice for you. If you're a pet owner, I'd strongly recommend this model. The dual rollers and larger internal dustbin with its hair compression feature make it a perfect robot for handling pet hair. If your home has high thresholds, the ProLeap system is currently the best on the market, making the X50 an excellent choice. For those that need the extra 8mm of clearance to navigate under specific tables or cabinets, the X50 stands out compared to older models. However, if none of these features address your needs and you prefer saving some money, I'd suggest checking out my reviews of the X40 and L40, which I'll link in the description below. You'll also find purchase links in the description. Using those links doesn't cost you anything extra, but it greatly supports my efforts to bring you the most thorough, unbiased reviews with more tests than the competition. If there's a specific test that you'd like to see, drop a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all very soon. Bye for now.